Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the weekly wrap podcast. Now let's see how the market have done in the week gone by. Indian benchmark indices during the week closed sharply lower, weighed down by mixed quarterly earnings, election outcome jitters, valuation concern, and relentless FII selling. During the week, Indian equity market witnessed heightened volatility despite favorable global cues. The Dow Jones continued to trade at a record high, registering gain for 7 consecutive sessions on Thursday, as higher weekly job claims and favorable April non-farm payroll data brightened the rate cut expectation. The domestic 4Q FY24 earnings season has been slightly disappointing as IT companies, the second highest weight in Nifty 50 after BSI, continue to face headwinds and hence outlook for FY25 is expected to be muted, thus causing weakness in the entire IT pack. A sample of 612 companies excluding Axis Bank due to exceptional loss in 4Q FY23 reported a net profit of 2.5 trillion, growing at 11.5% on a YOY basis and 12.5% on a QOQ basis. Auto companies, especially two-wheeler majors, Hero MotoCorp, TVS Motor reported strong set of results along with positive management commentary for the year ahead. For the week, Nifty and Sensex closed at losses of 1.9% and 1.6%, underperforming the global markets. Broader market bore the burn this week with cuts of 3.3% and 3.8% for BSE mid-cap and small-cap indices, respectively. Now let's see sector-wise performance. BSE FMCG and BSE Auto were the top gainers at 1.3% respectively, while BSE PSU was the highest loser at 4.8%, followed by BSE Consumer Durable at 4.8% loss, BSE Oil at 4.5% loss, BSE Metal at 3.3% loss. Now let's look at the top performers of Nifty 50. Hero MotoCorp, Britannia Industries, HUL, Kotak Mahindra Bank and Tata Motors are the top performers of Nifty 50, while the top losers are Shriram Finance, Titan, Dr. Reddy's Lab, Adani Enterprise and L&T. Now let's look at the fund flow data. FII were net sellers to the tune of 18,343 crore in cash market, while DII were net buyers to the tune of 14,657 crore. Now let's look at the economic data. India PMI services data for April 24 stood at 60.8, declining slightly higher from its 13-year high of 61.2 in March 24. Despite the fall, the indices record one of the strongest growth rate in 14 years. Second is Indian net equity inflows in mutual fund dropped 16% on month-to-month basis in April 24. Net equity investment in mutual fund in April 24 stood at 18,917 crores, down by 16.3% on month-to-month basis. In April 24, sectoral and thematic funds earned an inflow of 15,166 crore, followed by multi-cap funds and large-cap funds with an inflow of 2,724 crores and 2,639 crores. The rising geopolitical issue in Red Sea, delay in rate cut in US, along with volatility related to Indian general election can be attributed for month-on-month slowdown in inflow. Next is Bank of England. It has maintained the status quo of interest rate at 5.25%. Governor said he is optimistic of things moving in the right direction, but the committee will need more evidence of falling inflation before cutting the base rate. Now let's look at the corporate news. Polycab has reported its result. The revenue, EBITDA and PAT stood at 5,592 crore, 762 crore and 554 crore respectively. The EBITDA margin stood at 13.6% versus a 14% margin on a year-to-year basis. It has reported a strong set of numbers. Marico. The revenue, EBITDA and PAT stood at 2,278 crore, 442 crore and 320 crore. The gross and EBITDA margin grew by 417 basis point and 186 basis point to 15.6% and 19.4% respectively. It has reported a decent set of numbers. CG Power Industrial Solution has reported its revenue and EBITDA at 2,192 crore and 332 crore. EBITDA margin declared by 10 basis point to 15.1%. PAT has remained flat at 240 crore. It has reported a neutral set of numbers. J&K Bank, NII POP and PAT stood at 1,306 crore, 663 crore and 638 crore respectively. Advance grew by 14% on a YOY basis. It has reported a strong set of results. Lupin. Revenue, EBITDA, PAT stood at 4,961 crore, 997 crore and 359 crore. EBITDA has improved by 705 basis points to 20.1%. It has reported a strong set of numbers. Dr. Reddy's Laboratory. Revenue, EBITDA and PAT stood at 7,114 crore, 1,814 crore and 1,310 crore respectively. EBITDA margin improved by 35 basis points to 25.5%. It has reported a strong set of numbers. Navin Fluorine. Revenue, EBITDA and PAT stood at 602 crore, 110 crore and 70 crore respectively. EBITDA margin corrected by 1,066 basis points to 18.3% versus a 28% margin on a YOY basis. It has reported negative set of result. Kansai Nerolac Paint. The revenue, EBITDA and PAT stood at 1,769 crore, 179 crore and 114 crore respectively. The gross margin has expanded by 246 basis points to 34.4% and EBITDA margin has expanded by 42 basis points to 10.1% respectively. It has reported a strong set of numbers. KC International. The revenue, EBITDA and PAT grew by 11%, 27% and 111% to 6,165 crores, 388 crores and 152 crores respectively. Margin have improved by 10 basis points to 6.3% on a QOQ basis. It has reported a strong set of numbers. Tata Powers. The revenue, EBITDA, PAT stood at 15,847 crore, 2,307 crore and 1,046 crore respectively, growing at 27%, 20% and 12% on a YOY basis. It has reported a strong set of numbers. Hero MotoCorp. The revenue, EBITDA and PAT grew by 15, 26 and 18% to 9,519 crore, 1,359 crore and 1,016 crore respectively. EBITDA margin has improved by 130 basis points to 14.3%. It has reported a strong set of numbers. Sula Vineyard. Revenue grew by 6% on a YOY basis to 117 crore. EBITDA and PAT declined by 15% and 18% respectively to 27 and 14 crore. The margin was down by 313 basis points to 24%. It has reported a negative set of result. Watak Bank secured a repeat order from Office National L assignment worth rupees 34 million euro. The consortium order entails designing, building, operation of 36 MLD wastewater treatment in Tunisia. This will be positive for the company in the long run. RVNL. It has received a LOA worth rupees 167 crore from Southeastern Railway. It will be positive for the company in the long run. L&T. The power transmission and distribution vertical won multiple orders valued between 5,000 to 10,000 crore. This will be positive for the company in the long run. Now let's look at the results that are due in the next week. Varun Beverage, Zomato, Jindal Steel Power, Tube Investment of India, Bharti Airtel, Siemens, Shree Cement, Colgate, PFC, Mankind Pharma, Jindal Stainless, RVNL, Mahindra & Mahindra, Hindustan Aero, GAIL, Info Edge, JSW Steel, NHPC, Global Health. Now let's look at the key event during the next week. Next week we expect volatility in the market to continue. The earnings will keep trickling in, leading to stock-specific action continuing. Nearly 440 companies are due to announce their result between 11th to 18th May. Microeconomic data like India and US CPI data, trade deficit numbers and ongoing election will be the key development to be tracked. We advise the investors to exercise caution and accumulate good quality stocks during this volatile phase. That's it for today. Thank you for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.